what is your outlook on these fucking chemtrails? I see them worse than ever these days, and it seems like they're ramping up. I feel like my hands are tied with the issue. Thoughts? I can't control it, so I don't think about it. I think we're here to have this journey, this story, this epic adventure together. And I don't believe that God would put anything in front of us that we can't handle and that we can't overcome. Whether it's building through it or blah, blah, blah. Chemtrails, we can't do anything about it. What are you going to do? So because of that, I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's probably weather manipulation with trying to ionize the air for some form of grid. I don't know, but it doesn't bother me because the only things that bother me is when I fail or when my fear gets to me or my weakness or sin gets to me, because that's the only thing that matters in this world. The one thing I can guarantee you is you will die and you will meet your maker. And that's it. I don't know what heaven is or hell is, but I know we all die and we all go back to where we came from. And when that happens, I want to be able to stand firmly that I did the best I could. And that's it. And so the chemtrails is not, guys, I know leprechauns, it could literally be for you to be stressed about it. They do that shit, guys. Gaslighting, these mental manipulations. And don't think that I'm stating this as fact. Because some people that I respect say there's bromium in them and they have these papers and blah, blah. I get it. But on a deep spiritual level, I know how Satan works. I'm not going to claim I understand God, but I know how Satan works. I would not be surprised. I'll put it this way. I'm not going to say this is probable, but I wouldn't be surprised if the entire operation was to get you in fear and it was just vapor. How funny would that be? Because there is something happening. It's not normal vapor trails from planes. That's obvious. And then they slowly revealed that they are spraying something, blah, blah, blah. But it's paced. It feels to me that on a spiritual level, it's paced to drive us crazy. It could be to limit sunlight on the realm. It could be because the sun has healing properties and they want to keep it away. There's a million things that it could be. But I would not be surprised if the entire operation was to get you scared of the sky or get you to think that there's nothing you can do and you're being poisoned all the time. The poison is the fear. I think 90% of contrails of the engines are burning the atmosphere instead of using fuel. That could be it too. Here's some possibilities that isn't poison. What if the chemtrail, because we know they're lying about what they are. What if it's to hide how planes function? What if it is water vapor? And the reason they don't want you to know, because it doesn't look like, it's clearly a plane will be flying nothing and then you see these long streaks in the sky. What if it's because planes fly on air and water? I don't know. I'm not making a claim, but I know how these motherfuckers work. I do know that the planes don't fly the way we think they do. They can't possibly hold the fuel capacity that they claim they do. So that tells me that they're running on something else. Why would they want to hold free energy from the population? As someone who can tell you for a fact that there's ways to adjust your fuel injection to get 300 miles a gallon, they're absolutely trying to keep you from more efficient energy. So there's mode of opportunity to hide how airplanes work with fuel. They also want to hide the sky clock. They want to hide astrological events. Because let's say you can manage the world with information that we don't know. Like different age changes, what the sky clock is saying, what energy is coming. That's a clock. I'm not saying those are gods, but that's a clock. And if they want an advantage over us, they keep us from seeing it. That's a possibility. It could be, poison to give you cancer. But that's not even, okay, to spray at crops, you have to get really low. You have to spray the fuck out of crops. Like crop dusting planes have to get really low. If you spray way up there, the parts per million that will actually fall on you is extremely small. And I'm not shilling for the man or anything like that. I promise you. To kill insects, you have to dump like thousands of gallons, 50 feet up, to kill little bugs. We're big. Yeah, 9/11 narrative crumbles without jet fuel. Exactly, Toronto Drew Bear. There's a million lies in that pyramid. Here's all the possibilities. It's about, I think one of the lowest ones is that it's just to poison us. The poison, don't get me wrong, they're trying to poison you. It's called high fructose corn syrup, partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, artificial flavors and colors, pasteurized milk. I'm not just going to make you feel good here. There's some devils out there, but that is so not an effective vector of poisoning that it's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Parts per million of any toxic chemical that high that disperses like that is zero. It's statistically zero. Now, the fluoride is a poison. The hormones in the water is a poison, but it's still minimal. All that is consent. Yeah, because the way this realm does work is it has to be consensual. Even if it's completely unfair. DDT is good for me and smoking is good for you. Who told you that? The Surgeon General said smoking will cure ailments. The devil is allowed to lie all the time. What the devil is not allowed to lie, in my opinion, is non-consent driven force murder. I see it over and over and over. It has to be a choice, and the range of the deception is huge. Like this recent vaccination, to me, was so easy to see that it was a trick. Some people didn't see it. A lot of people were idolizing the system and idolizing money and idolizing fear. And because they were off the biblical path, they fell for such a ridiculous trick. Now, some tricks I've fallen for, and I still will, because I'm not living a good enough life to see through them. And they're just more honed, more whispery, more subtle. But I know who not to listen to. I know who is actively trying to deceive me. And so I know how this realm works in a sense that consent is very important. And so that's why I don't believe the chemtrails are doing anything to us. Aside from fear, anxiety, any of that stuff. But you're not supposed to get your happiness from the sun. It's internal. The kingdom of God is within. You have to get to a point, I'm not there either, by the way, where you could be in solitary confinement, eating only crackers, completely alone, and be happy. Or be content, in a sense. Like you are still connected to God. You are without fear. If you're in that place, I believe you vibratorily, in a way, enter heaven while you're still alive. And so when you understand that, like, what can they take away from you and you are still grateful to God? It's right out of Job. And so if you're going to get scared and worried and affect your life just because there's lines in the sky, that's Satan collecting, in my opinion.